We are on air.
Assalamu alaikum. We welcome you all on behalf of Canadian Muslim Media Club. Canadian Muslim Media Club has been formed back in like 5 years ago, and we are growing. Our listeners are growing. Our viewership is growing. We have about 8 different media outlets, and we're growing through within our community. So as you all know, that we had an incident with Rahat Rao, and you all are familiar with it. I don't have to just go into the details. Today's media conference, press conference, we have with our leaders, our community leaders, as well as our politicians and our law enforcement agencies. As a witness, they're sitting there. We want to make sure that our voices are being heard, and what community is, when community respond to this situation, and when the community actually talk to us, that it's our responsibility so we can actually relay their message to you. That's why we all are here, and then we like to listen to you, and we want to hear from your end what sort of what sort of ideas you have to deal with this kind of situation. So I don't want to just prolong this, and I want Tarikiani and Ashiana to conduct this meeting and ask the question on behalf of Canadian Muslim Media Club.
Thank you so much, Navisa, and thank you so very much, everyone of you. You guys are very important to us, and again, thank you on behalf of Canadian Muslim Media Club that you guys made it on such a short notice. That is really amazing, and thank you so very much for that. This is Rahat Rao's issue is not a Muslim issue. It's not a Pakistani issue. It's a Canadian issue. He is a Canadian citizen. He is taxpayer. He loves this country. He is involved in local politics. He's always very active in politics. This thing happened to him. It was a shocking news for the community and for the media, especially us, because he was part of our organization at one point. The important thing is that we are worried about Canada and particularly Surrey, that this is not seems like the place where we were thinking about that Canada, whenever we thought about Canada, was a peaceful, beautiful country where everybody can live. If I tell you, when I landed here 24 years back, it was 1:30 a.m. and when I entered the city of Surrey, I saw women walking alone. And I showed my wife, I said, this is Canada, where we came, where a woman at 1:30 can walk alone and feel safe. But today, unfortunately, my daughter does not want to go out alone. And if she goes, we're not very satisfied that she is going to be safe. So this is a question not for ourselves. We have to ask ourselves too. We have a duty to in this regard. But mainly, you guys are responsible people. You guys are sitting there where you guys make the laws and do all these policing and stuff like that. I really appreciate Surrey RCMP and police department's presence here, and our MP. SPS, sorry. Okay. So we'll ask our honorable former mayor that this SPS and RCMP ping pong played how much role this has, but still we see that something is not working right. Trust me. And thank you so much, Sukhdariwal Sahab. Our community leader, Asad Gondal, thank you so very much, BCMA's president. Rauf Khan Sahab, welcome again. You were there yesterday when we did the show, but on behalf of CMMC, I welcome you all. My first question would be, or if you want to add something? Okay. My first question would be that congratulations to you all that Surrey is not in top 10 most dangerous places in Canada, but we are number 11. So that is, if that satisfies us, maybe we will find those people, those who are satisfied with this, but we are not. If I asked, start from former Mayor Doug McCullough, you served the city for longest time, sir. When you see this now, what do you think the reason behind it? Is it a policing? Is it a community? Or what do you say is something else which we don't know? Please.
Thank you very much. And I'm here today because I feel really bad for what has just happened. I look at Surrey as my big family overall. I was mayor for 15 years. In the Muslim community, I would just about have visited every mosque in Surrey many times. I've been in your homes, been in your community. And the same for other families of different cultures. I've been to their events, the cultural events. And Surrey has always been a very safe community, a community really of families. And I think that's the key, is it's a community of families. We need to be sure that our communities are safe. And it's really important as we look at this particular situation that we have to send a message and find the person that's responsible, and in my opinion has to be put away for life, so that this type of incident can never happen again in our community in any particular culture. And I think it's important when you look at communities, one of the number one factors, especially communities like Surrey that is a city of families, they want to bring their families up in a safe community. And we, a number of years ago, looked at it and made the decision to change police in Surrey because we felt that we wanted to have police that police our city, that live in our community and work in our community and stay in our community, and instead of the rotation that the RCMP has, basically right across Canada. But we wanted, we're a big city now, 12th largest in Canada, and we wanted to have our own police force. And with the police, we wanted to have a different type of police for our communities, to prevent things like that we're talking about now. We wanted a proactive police, a police that got out in front of the problems so that they didn't happen. Too many times in the past it's been reactive. Soon something happens, then everybody comes rushing in. We want to get out in front of that so that it doesn't happen. We don't have to do that. And so we decided to make that change, and it's about halfway through, and the police of jurisdiction will be in a few months, and our police are coming along well, and a lot of them live in our community now. They work, they go to our soccer games and everything. That's how one way we can make our community safe, and because the police will be members of our community, and they will be working in the community to solve the problems that we have.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll ask you again another question about this, but now I'll move to Inspector Tony. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We had a big meeting yesterday, and so many people asked same question, that why it took so long when we had a clear picture of that the suspect and video of that suspect. Why it took you guys 7 days to tell us only that this is his name? Could be that the suspect, it could not be right. Why it took so long? And the community would like to ask this and listen this, that how your policing works. Is it because you don't have enough resources, enough boots on ground, or what is the main reason that why it took so long?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting Jag and I to be here to represent Surrey Police, and and I feel so bad about what happened. Anytime there is somebody, an innocent person that is hurt, somebody who's injured, when people, the community are targeted. My father is from Iran, my mother is from Belgium. We came here as immigrants in 1979, so I feel the pain. I connect with a lot of people, who have arrived here in Canada for the same reasons that you mentioned, a safe country. And my dad would always say, Pesariman was my son in Farsi, it's good country Canada. So that is part of the reason why I became a police officer. So this is about why I'm here and why I'm proud to represent the policing at this table. The only thing is that because we're not police of jurisdiction, and we won't be police of jurisdiction until November 29th, I cannot speak about operations. I cannot speak for the RCMP because the RCMP is in charge of the investigations. And I wish I could, but we're not in charge. I'm in here, I'm making sure my police officers are safe on the road. I'm making sure that, the scheduling is good. I'm making sure that they're well taken care of. And if there's any complaints, I deal with that as their supervisor, as their line officer. But as far as the operations of these investigations that are very complex and intricate, I don't have knowledge of all those details because we're not in charge. And I wish I could answer, questions for you.
But you can tell us that where we are lacking, why our streets are not safe, why, like this was one incident, 2 days after we had a shooting in Newton, so this looks like a war zone kind of thing. I'm from Pakistan, I had a business in Islamabad. Trust me, I never heard this kind of incident in Islamabad, like 20 years of my business there.
What I can tell you is that moving forward as a police force, like 4 years ago in 2020, we didn't have any police officers. We didn't have guns. We didn't have ballistic vests. We didn't have anybody. Now we're 420 employees, sworn police officers and civilians, and we're building those teams, and we're building something so that we can have community engagement units. We can have, working on the gang task force. We'll have police officers who will be integrated units like IHIT, the police dog services, the INSET, intelligence, and all the other units that headquarters has. We'll be able to draw up a map and a blueprint to move forward to ensure that the citizens and the community is safe. But right now we're still building that. But that is the plan, and I'm very confident. I feel very confident that what we're building right now will be very good, and for the reasons that Mr. McCallum mentioned earlier, is that yes, we have police officers who are in the community, who are engaged in the community, understand what the issues are, and then they're not getting transferred all over the place, so that you can work on those. You understand. We know these people by name, and hopefully I'm going to be here for another 5 years, so that we'll have more meetings, and then you know me by name, and then this is how relationships and relationship building starts. But I feel very confident that we'll be able to improve and find ways to not eradicate, but improve the way things are in the city.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much. SPS officers Jag and Tony are both here. As we know, they are not police of jurisdiction at this moment. They will be answerable to us after November 29th. And unfortunately, our CMP officers are not here, whom we should have got the answers from.
That's right.
And in this press conference, I'd really like to tell the public out there that police of jurisdiction for Surrey right now is RCMP, but they are missing from this press conference. They're not here, so many questions might not be answered today to our public.
Thank you.
And just to
Thank you for that.
to simplify for your listeners,
Yes.
a lot of people don't understand the term police of jurisdiction. And the way it works is only one police agency will have command of the city. So all the operations are under our CMP at the moment. So we're going through a transition phase, which is a phase transition. It's not like today we shut off and then they shut off. So idea is that by November 29th, the command will come to Surrey Police Service. When you talk about being answerable, we're always answerable to the community, whether we are in command or not. But there are questions that we can't answer, the ones that are operational at the moment. So the reason Tony and I are here, we want to listen to the concerns. We want to listen to whatever the community has to say, because to change something, to build our strategies, to build our plans, we first have to listen. And it's very important to listen to the concerns of the community. So like you mentioned that our police officers go to soccer games, but this is more important when the community is in pain, when they're hurting. So we are part of those conversations as well, and that's what we're here.
But one last thing on this subject, do you think that this transition thing is basically a problem? It is hurting our citizens, they are not feeling safe because you guys are doing this transition and it's taking long time?
No,
so in between, like, we frankly sometimes we don't know whom to ask.
So that's why I wanted to clarify. Transition doesn't mean that you have less officers on the street. In fact, Surrey Police Service put over 200 police officers with the RCMP. And I'll say it publicly that irrespective of what uniform the members put on, they're all out there serving the public. Whether it's RCMP, whether it's Surrey Police Service, every member, every officer out there is protecting the public. We're all working hard. And these were the decisions that were made at the time to transition into the Surrey Police Service. And now we're moving forward with that. So public is not at risk because of the transition. In fact, you gained more members, gained more police officers that are working together for public safety.
Thank you.
Thank you, officers. I just wanted to, and I know there's a limited time. I understand that your position as a Canadian Muslim Media Club. We want you to note that we need more community liaisons. We need anyone from your end when you come to in service fully on 29th. We want you to have a representative who can actually represent the community and is one call away. Just to listen to what our leaders are saying, what our community is saying, or maybe a reachable, any person who we can talk to, we're comfortable talking to. This is what our community needs, and I'm very happy that two representatives are here. They actually, you guys have very strong roots within the community. Jag, you are, and Tony, as your Muslim name you mentioned, Sohail. I welcome you to this, and we look forward to see that change or see that community ties from your agency, so we can actually say that community, that somebody like Sohail will listen to us and will have an answer for us right away, which we feel that it was not the case. It took about 7 days, just like, as our representative said, it takes 7 days to get one answer. We don't want that. We want this to be notified to your agencies and see what better you can do, just to have a little bit more ties within the community.
Yeah, and Naveed, to your point, we were just one email away. It came to us, and one more thing I'll clarify, that Surrey Police Service, since we came into existence, we have done over 600 community consultations.
Thank you.
And the whole model is community-based policing model. You will know who your inspector is in your area. So you don't have to hunt for the number and see who should we call.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the goal, and we're going to make sure that we have officers who are connected to the community to listen to those concerns.
Thank you.
Okay. Sukhpa ji, ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. And Rahat Rao was not only a community member, but for you especially, he was a very close friend of yours. And you being an MP, can you tell our viewers, जो लोग देख रहे हैं, कि वो किस तरह believe करन कि now this city will be safer and they should not be worried about the government of all levels are working to make them feel safe. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਯੂ ਆਰ ਐਨ MP ਔਰ ਬੜੇ ਲੰਬੇ ਅਰਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈਕ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਪੀਪਲ ਆਰ ਲਿਟਰਲੀ ਨਾਟ ਫੀਲਿੰਗ ਸੇਫ. ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯਕੀਨ ਦਿਵਾਓਗੇ ਐਜ਼ ਐਨ MP, as a public representative, that okay, we are doing this actions, please now you will feel safe, now nobody will be hurting you up. So kis tarah tusi unhanu yakeen dilaoge?
So first of all, I just want to thank the Canadian Muslim Media Club for putting this together and inviting us all here. And I also want to tell you that I had the opportunity because Global News, I think it was the very second day, Global News approached me, and I did not shirk away from answering their questions either. I was out there to have conversation, and I want to thank you for organizing this. When it comes to Rahat Rao, certainly, he's a good friend, but at the same time, it's not about, as you earlier said, it's not about Muslim being targeted, say Canadian, on a Canadian soil, and particularly in a city, that part of the city I represent, and part where I raised my family, where I have my business, and where I live, and where I will retire. So certainly this is very concerning. This is a terrible incident that happened. As soon as I came to know about this, I did my duty. As officers are here, staff sergeant and inspector, and they can say that even as elected representatives, we cannot intervene into the investigative and the way they want to handle the situation. But I was immediately on the file to make sure that the police of jurisdiction have all the resources, not only to deal at a local level, but make sure that this issue is dealt with the highest priority at a national level. If they need any help, I have opened myself, and I'm opening myself publicly, that if they need any help from the federal perspective, we are there. Because you might have seen that there were a media outlet in India that particularly wanted to twist this, wanted to spread the misinformation, which is not acceptable. He was trying to, this media was trying to put this issue with some other issue, and I want to make sure that people who are listening is very clear that that is not the case, and we should not believe on misinformation that's spread by one of the media.
So it's not one media. Trust me. For last time when Hardeep Singh Nijjar's murder happened, there was 89 media outlets from India. What they were spreading here was that as if Pakistani ISI or Pakistani people and Rahat Rao and Tariq Yani, they murdered Hardeep Singh Nijjar. They were using my name, my picture, and Rahat's picture, and now again they're using our names. It is not. Basically what they're trying to do is they are trying to hurt our inter-community harmony. They are trying to break that, and this is a bigger issue for us all. And I would like to ask you that is how can we fight this media war, and because they are viral, they are sending millions of views, and they are getting so many attention.
First thing first, foreign interference of any kind, whether to intimidate or to manipulate people or to use violence against people is not acceptable at all. When Mr. Nijjar's murder or killing happened, I personally basically, I was the one that took the petition to the House. I was the one who had a special debate on this issue, and then eventually I brought in a motion M112, which was to make sure that we are able to stop foreign interference from not one state, many states that try to intervene into our system. And taking that into consideration, in fact, all the parties supported. The M112 motion went through, and the government took an action. We brought in Bill C-70 to make sure that we are able to reform the CSIS Act, because CSIS Act was from 1984. So for that many 40 years, this was never been visited. We want to make sure that we give CSIS the resources that they need, the tools that they need to deal with the modern, whatever that's happening, not only here, in fact, happening overseas. We also have put resources into our police forces as well, so they are able to deal with situations like that. But in this particular case, when they are trying to put Mr. or yourself or anybody else, spreading misinformation, we got to stand united on this, that we should be able to, come up with a one voice, that our government at the highest level, or the federal level, or whether it's the provincial level or local level, we should all be able to come together and condemn it. And you as a media can also play a key role, right? Making sure that the government is aware, you are writing it to all orders of the government, and government is accountable, and making sure that that this does not happen, and it should stop right here.
So we will expect that you talk this in the parliament too, because this is also a huge interference in our relationship here. This is hurting us. This may hurt us, although communities are very much united. We are together. We know each other. We talk to them. We don't have any problem, but they are trying to create that issue in Canada, in our society. We are multicultural society, and I always said that this is not our weakness. This multiculturalism, these differences are our strength. So we believe in that, and I would expect from you as our MP that please do something about it, because this needs a huge attention.
Certainly, I'm already doing, and Mr. Gyani, you yourself can witness. I have come. I can come publicly here today as well. Yes. I have come to you as well, and I said to you that I will stand with shoulder to shoulder to make sure that there is no power, or there is no agent or associate of the intelligence agencies from the outside the country are able to point finger at you, or try to threaten you, or try to intimidate you, or try to use violence against you. And I have said to you personally, and I'm saying to you publicly, that I'm standing with you and any other Canadian, if that is who he or she is the victim of this.
Thank you so much, sir. Asad Gondal sir, you have heard everything, and here today we are missing some people. We are missing city government, we are missing provincial government, and I believe that they are more responsible about these decisions and everything. So if they are absent from this kind of press conference, what would you like to say to them?
So good evening, Tarek, Akshana, Naveed, dear our Makalam, Suktaliwal, Anthony, and Param. First of all, the information, I would be more specific about the incident what happened where we are suffering right now. And I'll be speaking about the grassroots issues which our community is facing. As police officer from the Surrey Police Service said about his experience when he came in this country as a country of peace, as a country of diversity, as a country of hope. Today, it's not like that, to be honest with you. I will start from the police here. Mr. Doug McCallum was in the office when this Surrey Police Service was introduced. In 2024, is this much time need a transition for one police to take over the next police in command? Number two, this is not something which is a hidden, that two people who were the candidate at that time, so they have a difference. One was supporting RCMP, and the current was the one candidate was supporting RCMP and one was in the favor of the Surrey Police Services.
Not one. I believe rest all.
Okay, so let's go. Let's
Even
go this way.
so
I will be more open.
I supported the Surrey police.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
what I'm
let's-
saying. She
no,
was the
no.
only one who was supporting RCMP.
Tariq bhai, let's
Yeah.
we come with the mayor candidate.
Correct.
Doug McCallum versus the one
Brandalog.
Brandalog. So my concern, what the community is concerning, that is it that the political differences, political ego, making us too far to make the decision to let these gentlemen to come and take their role? 3.5 years is too much. As Pram said, we are providing more officers. Jack, sorry. So we are providing more services. And you said in the beginning that we are not under 10. And we have not seen in last 25 years that somebody burned alive with a kerosene oil.
Right.
So you will be, inshallah, very soon within the 10. So don't live with this hope that you are the safe within the 10 or 11. You will be maybe under 5 or 6 because we haven't seen this modern civilized world in Canada where we have a freedom of rights, where we have a diversity, and we always very proudly saying this is a country of our hope. And where the people are burned alive for 7 days after we got the police is coming with the announcement of a victim, and with this much that it's not a robbery, it's not a something a dealing, it's a target killing. So whose responsibility is to find out why this target killing takes place? Number two, sometimes personally I think, and the community is thinking this way, who is safe in this city? Who is safe in this province? I'm surprised these all provincial leadership, all those civic leadership, who will be very next day. We are coming for the celebrations for the different program. They will be sitting with us, having a dinner with us. Today, when we need that, there's nobody.
Yep.
That's a big surprise for them.
Yep.
The community would not take that very easily. I'm telling you, as a leader of the community.
Let me correct you. They even make sure that they get the invitation. They call for the invitation also. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is something which a community will definitely take this matches very seriously. Now come to the Rahat Rao case. We all know Rahat. Like, I don't want to go in detail, but something which we all know that what happened to him. After 7 days, he has an old mother, he has a wife, and the entire family. Like, this is a question not for him or his family, this is a question for anybody. Who is safe in this city? Next to his business, our honorable mayor is sitting. So his office and his office is only a 5-minute difference.
Less than
The
500
RCMP,
meters, yeah.
less than 5. RCMP office is not even far from there. So if this kind of incident happens in this much in the heart of the city, and this gentleman can come and try to burn a person alive and ran away, so who is safe then? Maybe only mayor in his office, maybe the provincial minister in his office. I think public is not safe. And we have seen everyday target killing, everyday shooting in this city. So we have two forces in place, and they are all providing 600 people on the ground. And who is safe in this city? No, nobody is safe. So this is a big question for police force. This is a big question for the civic force, civic government, and the provincial government as well. And we can see their interest in the community. Yeah, because their interest might be after 2 years when the elections comes again, and the next mayor would come, and those councillors come and knock the door. We are your voice. No, you are not our voice. You are the voice for your leadership. You are the voice for your chair. You got the chair, and you are sitting on the chairs now. We need you today. We need you now.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I have a question,
yes.
Brother Asad. We know you are a president for the biggest voice in this country for Muslims. As we said, that Rahat Rao, he was a Canadian citizen. But as a Muslim leader, what kind of violence are you guys facing? I remember our mayor, Brenda Law, she has visited the mosque many times. before the election. But after the incident of Rahat Rao, did she visit the mosque? Did she call you? Did she had any sympathy to our community?
None of them. That's a big surprise. I know the provincial leadership is coming soon to have
Because
their
I've
vote.
seen her wearing scarves
Nobody-
and standing right next to the gate
Nobody
many
have.
times.
No. This is our turn now.
That was
Definitely
before the
we can
election.
ask them. By the way, on the publicly I'm telling, so far, none from the civic government, none from the provincial government stood up, say anything about this innocent life, which was almost taken. This was almost like this is a blessing of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, the God that who has saved him to this level that he's surviving, and he may survive. But would he be the same man? No way. I can guarantee
And
you.
what's the guarantee he's not going to be targeted again?
No. Even he's targeted. I can see you. If he survived with this condition, he would not be a same man. Look, a person burned alive. What kind of traumatized he would face all of his life? Can he handle this fear? No, he wouldn't. He would be, even he alive, he would not be the same person. Maybe useless. And for the community, for those people, even this mayor, I remember when she was running for the election, this guy, the Rahat Rao, was advocating for her as well. So this is something sad, and we as a community, not as a Muslim community, the safety of every Canadian is equally important. But being a visible, being in target, we are the first one who face the most in this province, in this city, even in this country. I can give you an example of today. Just 2 weeks ago in UVic University, there is a worship place which is for everybody, but Friday we took this place for our Jummah place. So it was a hate, some of the things were placed on there. So we speak with the president of the UVic, things were resolved, the permission was given. Today, just 2 hours ago, the chairperson of the Victoria Masjid called me, the same sign have been placed on the masjid, which is I hate Islamophobia, that you guys not to be in the country, you deserve the death in this country, these kind of things. So basically, being a Muslim, I'm speaking on behalf of every Canadian. Every Canadian has a right to live in this country, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their belief. This is the charter of the country. Freedom of right, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. So we being a Muslim are most target. This is for sure. This is for sure, and this is a truth like a daylight, that we been for the last 3, 4 years, 5 years, we are suffering the most, and this should stop.
And what kind of fear does the community have? Because they'll come to you if there is a concern. Does the community have a fear? Are they afraid to go to the mosque for the Isha prayers, which is quite late?
We are not that fair, but community is concerned. Community is scared. Under the circumstances, I don't think that everybody, because we have seen those incidents very commonly, the Muslim women's, the hijab snatched on the SkyTrain, they've been targeted in the bus stop. Even this masjid was target. I remember Sukhdaliwal knows that people have placed I hate words throughout the city. That Mukallam was the mayor at that side, so we try to eliminate. But this is not the level, because going to the masjid is a big faith, it's a belief. Like Muslims believe on the day of death and the life, but still everybody is like, it is the talk of the every house. It is the talk of the every woman. It is the talk of every child. What happened to Rahat Rao? Does he deserve, as a Canadian citizen, this treatment? What he has done wrong? Nothing. He has developed this country. He is a taxpayer. He was working hard for his family. Rather, he was a vocal. He was a voice for the Canadian throughout. He helped the federal government candidate. He helped the provincial candidate.
Well, he has Prime Minister's picture in his studio, a big picture.
Not only in the studio, but on his car, back window of his car. So
last thing, Tariq by using the same opportunity, I would like to request the responsible forces, law forces, or whoever they are, because we are still not sure, as they said, RCMP has a command. So we want to request them we want to request both of them, the RCMP and the civic, the government, the mayor office, that the people of the Surrey, they need more way of safety and security.
Thank you.
And the people who has done this, they should brought in a justice. And this justice should be very visible. It should be shared with the community, that they have a peace of mind and they can build up their confidence to walk on the street of the Surrey more freely and more independently.
One thing I want to add that I'm certain because police of jurisdiction is not here. The police of jurisdiction is making sure that every corner is not focused on one piece of issue. It should be from all angles. Look, not from one perspective, but from every angle. And I'm certain that, as far as I understand, that's where the focus is and should be. That they should go and make sure that every stone is unturned until he gets a justice on this particular, and we're able to bring the truth out.
Okay. That's a question and then.
I'm getting some text messages about this. The I got 3-4 messages. The question what they're asking is that we need police help. And the police is here as, I don't know, definitely the people who are texting, they're part of the community. And if they are asking the police help, so basically they feel scared.
Okay.
And
take it.
the message.
So you can forward the message if you want, and if they're really in need, they should be available. So, thanks.
Just one question regarding our MP and rest of guys like ex-mayor and SPS. If you're one to answer, they can answer it. The one is be aware of what happened in UK just because of social media. Do we have any policy to control this thing? And what happened to Rahat Rao? And what kind of wastage of time during the whole operation? What do you guys say about that?
Wastage of time means?
Like wastage of time, like an eyewitness yesterday told us, we were thinking he's brought in hospital within 2 hours, but one of eyewitness said 3 to 4 hours. Is that justified? One person got a police call like a person is burning alive, and 55% he was burnt at that time, and still 2-3 hours. Is this Canada?
Yeah, that's a long time, don't doubt. Yes. Anybody?
First of all, I thank you for the question that you posed. Right? Yeah. It's a multifaceted question, and it's different orders of government involved in the question to answer. But I will certainly focus on the federal jurisdiction. When it comes to social media, and particularly spreading the misinformation that the certain outlets are spreading about this and trying to divert the attention away from the issue and trying to cause chaos, or pitting one community against the other or one country against the other, right? That is not acceptable, and I'm telling you that we have made sure that we brought in this bill C-70, as I had mentioned. That is to deal with this situation like this, where the intelligence agency, CSIR, should be able to intervene into the situation, monitor, and make sure that they are able to find the solution to curb that and stop that.
Thank you so very much. And
can I take a minute regarding your question, Tariq? When I went to the crime scene, that was about 10 minutes after it happened. And at that time, Rahat Rao was not transported to the ambulance. They were just in the process of doing that. And there were, I should say, about 8 SPS officers. I just saw 1 RCMP officer there. And SPS officers were so emotional at that time too, that they came to us and said, can you guys please help his wife, get her a chair, do something for her. So when we look at our authorities, I mean, I should not be pointing fingers at anyone. As soon as Rahat was taken into the ambulance, they made sure that which burn unit, which hospital would be the best hospital. They took a few minutes figuring out where to take him. Is it going to be VGH or is it going to be somewhere else? This is what the communication the first responders had with us. And then after 10 minutes they said, well, we're taking him to VGH. That's the best burn unit. So that was a little process there, but I don't think it took more than an hour to transport him.
But one of them yesterday told us ambulance came in after 30 minutes of the incident, and after that all procedure has done.
Take that. I think that.
It's according to eyewitness.
That's
Yeah, no, this is what I have seen with my own eyes, that what happened there and how he was transported, and then he was taken straight to VGH, and there was a lockdown there. BPD did a lockdown. They didn't let anyone come in or get out of the hospital. And when we went there, we were screened before we could get inside, and he was already in the trauma.
The second, if you allow me, just 30 seconds. Like before you went there, I believe Indian media already reported that incident.
Yeah.
And this was surprising. Within 10 or 20 minutes, all they reported. If somebody is feeding from here, so authorities should take.
And certainly, and I can answer to that one. And I even though I'm not involved in the police, but I can tell you that our police of jurisdiction is aware of this situation, and I'm sure because if you are aware of this, I'm aware of this. The police of jurisdiction is also aware of it, and I'm sure that whoever is trying to, and I know, and I'm sure that we all can pinpoint where it's coming from.
That's right.
It is not hidden, and I'm certain that they will be focusing on every corner. That they can try to curb this and this information that was spread and things that are coming.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And last comments, our senior politician, one of my favorite, Mayor. What can you suggest, sir, at the end, that what community should be doing to make this city, and what authorities, what the agencies should be doing to make this city more safer and people more confident? What you suggest, sir, at the end?
I'll give a couple of examples that have actually worked, but I am a big believer that the city of Surrey is probably the most multicultural city in Canada by far, and as such, over many years, it has been very, very safe. Yes, we've had episodes in the past, but we need to work together. Somebody started at the beginning saying we need to listen to each other. That's critical. Like, we need to learn. If we talk to our different cultures and so forth, and we understand them and understand their cultures, and if we are good listeners, all our residents, to understand it and to work together, and also to be strong, each community, and stay strong, because the city also is a city of families. The most families per population anyways of any city in Canada. And the reason it's families is because it needs to be safe. You want to bring your kids up when it's safe. And I want to give you just a few examples of, in the gang wars that are going on, for instance. And this is a personal story, so I'll relate it to it. I normally don't do this, but my son was a teacher at Tremendous High School, and the kids there were getting recruited into gangs as soon as they got out of school, and the community was trying to work together. And what you have to understand is the kids get out of school at 2, their parents aren't home until 6 after work. There's a gap in there of 3 hours where the kids are out of school and they got nothing to do. They go to the shopping center, hang around outside the school, and so forth. And so my son decided, well, these kids that are hanging out in the gangs were in cars right outside of where these kids were, and they were recruiting them right off the street. And I actually went over it once and actually saw it happen. So it was happening there fairly frequently. And so how do you solve that? And so what he did is he went to the kids that could be subject to that, and he said, what do you want to do? They said, we want to play rugby. Now, in high schools, there wasn't any rugby teams for men or women at that time. So my son started up a rugby team in Tamanaras. And he brought all these kids that were standing still into a rugby. And then other high schools in BC started to have rugby. And their kids started to play rugby in that 3-hour gap, okay? And actually, the recruitment end, and that went way down. And when one of these kids graduated, he turned to my son and he said, Mr. McCallum, he said, I just want to say you saved my life by getting me away from the gangs that I was going to join that very day when you said you better get into a rugby practice. So as a community, we need to do all sorts of those things, and we need to work together. Our communities are strong. The Muslim community is very strong. I know it very well. I've been in it many times. You have a very strong community in Surrey. And so did all the other cultures in our city. But we need to work together, not be isolated. And I'll give you one quick final example. Is I live at Crescent Beach. Every Sunday, after this thing, I'm going to go back down there and I'm going to go for a swim. But there is a big park right on the ocean at Crescent Beach. And in that park, every night, but on the weekends even more so, there is different families come down to picnic. And they bring barbecues and everything. You can go to that park and see people from all over the world, all the different cultures, and you can see them all enjoying themselves together. They're learning from somebody else, a different culture right beside them. And I kept saying to the RCMP before, get down and get out of your cars, just don't drive them, get out of your cars, go talk to these people. Because, there are families there and so forth. And the Surrey police, to give them credit, do that all the time. They have at least 4 or 5 patrols down there. And they go to the park, they get out of the cars, and they talk to all the different cultures down there. That's how you build communities. And we have to do that 100 times more. And so my suggestion to people in Surrey, get out, listen to your neighbors, understand your neighbors, understand the different cultures, ask them questions about their cultures, enjoy them, and work together. And above all the cultures, stay strong, be positive. You bring your family up. When you turn the TV on, look at it in the world and all the wars that are going on over there. Here we are, at least we don't have a war, and we actually are working well together. And we need to continue that, and we need to upgrade that. So enjoy everybody that's around you in our community, but especially listen and learn from the different cultures, because you can learn a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We have some guests who didn't speak, so I will say if you guys can introduce yourself and talk
Very
about
quickly,
1 minute.
Not question, because everyone discussed what happened. But it is a community request or my request that dispatching of the police, either Surrey police, either RCP, when any calls come from any numbers. So I live on the King George, and it is my personal experience. Every second day, I found for one homeless person, 5 police patrolling around one homeless person. So one is okay, but the community is asking after few information get by homeless, why the 4 people block the half lane of the public, and same way, this is one scenario. In other scenario, if any number found that this license plate is over or this driving license is, the one police patrolling is good. The rest of the 3 patrolling around him, it is the wastage of our taxes, which is we seen on the road. Community need that those people, those patrolling, they have to go somewhere else where are the more needed people required. What do you say, sir?
So,
yeah.
that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
so resources have to be used properly.
Dispatching
So,
of
yeah,
patrolling
that's good.
should
I
be
think it's a
very
suggestion.
proper way.
So,
I'm just speaking as a police officer. I've been a police officer for 33 years, and and I can't speak about operations in specific, but every case is different. You may have an individual, and then you find out that he has been violent in the past, or he may have a knife on him. Then then more vehicles are we can't know in advance when you're going to need more police cars or less. It depends on the individual. It depends on the risk assessment that the police officer makes at scene. So he may call for more backup, and without knowing the circumstances, we don't know. But I get what you're saying. And with policing it's not an exact science. We don't know what we're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what it is, and sometimes it's not a good chocolate. I'm making an analogy from Forrest Gump, but it is. You don't know what you're going to get when you go on your shift. You don't know.
thank you so much, sir. Raza bhai, ये आगे दें माइक. That's all.
Thank you. My name is Raza Khan. I am one of the director for Canadian Muslim Media Club. And first of all, I would like to thank you, MP Subdaliwal, Dr. Alam, and brother Tony and Jack for being here in a short notice. And you understand, you listen our concern, and hopefully soon the transition will be complete, and community is looking forward working with you guys.
Thank you so much, Raza bhai. Rauf bhai, please. Mic udhar de.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'll be more specific on Rahat Rao because we talk about different.
थोड़ा सा ऊंचे बोलेंगे.
I'll be more specific on Rahat Rao because we are talking different other scenarios and all the other options. But I know Rahat Rao for many years. He's a good friend, good buddy, my cousin, my relative. He's super nice, super cool gentleman. He loves to help others, as far I know, as far I concerned. And all our community also know him. He is one of the nicest person you can ever met. So I'm worried, I'm concerned about his health. I'm also concerned, it's been a week. It happened last Friday. It's been a week today. And only the police just identified today that the suspect is Khalid Jamir of 33 years old. So, but still, he's still loose.
Yes.
He's still loose. It's been a week. I don't know how long it will take to catch him. It's a direct threat to the general public. It's a safety issue. So we want all the concerned authorities to arrest him as soon as possible. If I don't know the status of this gentleman, this person, if he is not a citizen, he must be deported from Canada.
That's
Or
right.
on a criminal offense, because he is a criminal, as our MP is sitting here. So if he's, there will be a lesson to the other people that if they're trying to rob or threat anybody, so if they are not citizen, they should not be welcomed here in Canada, because Canada is known to be a very peaceful country, and we wanted to keep it as a peaceful country.
That's right.
I'm also concerned as your media invited the concerned authorities, they are not here yet. We didn't see him. So who should we ask questions? You know.
Correct.
They're supposed to be here. If the media, because Muslim Media Club has many different media channels. There's the Media Waves, Sohni Dharti, and the Miracle newspaper is here. So, so they have questions. They wanted to know what the outcome is, where the suspect is, whether he is in this lower mainland or he has gone to some other places. The other concern is, like, there are surveillance everywhere. When this thing happened, there will be definitely a 911 call. So, as far as I know, this guy, after robbing, trying to steal a car, he was looking for a car where he can jump in and then get away.
That's right.
So there was a lot of time. If the police activated, he could have been caught right on the spot, because he was running around. Like I understand that there was a car. He got in. He tried to drove. Instead of putting in a gear, he drove fast and hit the curb, and the car got stuck. He got out from that car and tried to steal another car. So I don't understand. There was a lot of time where he could have been arrested.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm worried. I'm concerned about this, and also I'm concerned about his health. He is in the hospital, but we're not sure, like, who will tell us, like, what shape he is now. There should be health authorities. There should be a provincial government, because he is taking care of the hospital. It's under the provincial government. So we wanted to know, there should be some kind of statement from the medical report. There should be, and also from the Surrey RCMP
authorities should
that, like,
inform us.
the
Thank
status,
you.
like,
Yeah.
there should be update. As in a general public, we wanted to know where the person stands.
That's right.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much, Rohit. Last comment.
On the, because he have posed a question, there's a pedal part to it. Pedal part to it is, as Robji said, that if one, I'm not going to even only on this one, I can tell you in general there is a policy in place. If someone commits crime and after that person served the jail sentence, if that person is not a Canadian citizen, that law is already, a policy is already in place, that will be deported. And we had this case, I'm sure, the speeding
Yes,
case,
I remember that. Yeah.
right? Those ones. And those were sent back, even though they had processions and whatnot. That was my early days in politics.
Very right.
That law is in place today as well.
Yeah.
So
That's
there's no
good.
exception.
I think-
we wanted to make
I
sure
think-
that he will be deported.
Yeah.
Certainly, I tell you right now.
Thank you.
It's not a Canadian citizen. The law is a law, and the policy is already. in
Thank
place.
you, everyone. Thank you so much. On behalf of Canadian Muslim Media Club, again, I would like to say thank you so much to you guys. I think our president will have closing remarks. But before that, I heard our honorable mayor that the answer is more unity. If enemy is trying to break us, the answer is we have to have more unity, more closeness. So that is something which I would like to add to the community, that don't listen to these propagandists. We all know them. They are not our friends. They are enemies. They are spreading the hate news and false and fake news. So please, our honorable president of Canadian Muslim Media Club, I would like.
On behalf of Canadian Muslim Media Club, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who attended this press conference. It's unfortunate that we don't have our provincial government representatives here today, but they have sent a message that they are with us. They're not present, but they said that they will be helping us or listening to the community. MP Sukh Taliwal, I'd like to really request you that whatever our community has asked today, whatever Canadian Muslim Media Club has brought out to you, please look into this matter, and we need answers. And we need you to communicate with Canadian Muslim Media Club and let us know what is going behind the scenes, or how these changes will be done, or how we are going to see some kind of, I should say, Rahat Rao was very close to each and every one of us here from CMMC. We really want to know that who is the person responsible. Is he the person responsible, or there's another force working behind it? What is the outcome of this investigations? That's something that we really want to know. And also, I know ex-mayor Doug McCullum has been talking to the community about this incident, and we would like you, sir, that find out why our community was isolated in this manner, and why this happened to Rahat Rao, and why it happened at a place where 5,000 people cross that SkyTrain every day. If it could happen to Rahat Rao, it could happen to me, it could happen to anybody. Are we not allowed to freely walk outside? I want to walk outside at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning if I wake up and I feel like going for a walk. I want to do that. I want this city to be safe. That's what we want. And the reason we are bringing all these issues out to you guys, because this is the voice of our community, whether it's Muslim community or any other community. The whole Canadian community needs these answers. And I'd like to really ask Brother Asad Ganda that if all the Muslim leadership gets together, we want you to take the lead and get the community out there, because at this moment we are being told, media has been told, that the leadership's not working. We are not uniting. We're not getting to one place where we can be a loud voice. So on behalf of Canadian Muslim Media Club, I would like that any of the leadership organization leaders should get together and organize a forum, talk about these issues, how we can keep our kids safe, how we can send our wives to the mall and we feel safe that they're okay. Because right now, if my daughter goes out to a mall, I look at the watch, I keep on waiting until she gets back home. So we don't want that fear. We want to live in a Canadian society. We want to be part of that society. We don't want to go to the mall where one of the sisters' hijab has been snatched. So this is something where the community has to get together and get a forum done, and then we get these politicians answerable to us, and we need answers. That's something that we all would want to get through CMMC. All the members of CMMC, I'm very proud that they are moving ahead, they are talking to the community, they're talking to the authorities, they're talking to our politicians, and we will make sure that our voice is being heard. But just a little community is not going to be able to do it. It has to come from the leadership of our whole community. So that's something that I would humbly request you, please take a lead, get the community forum going, let's look into towards the public safety. We don't want another Rahat Rao attack. As we all know, there were two police releases. One said that it was not a robbery and theft issue. Today, they have a suspect and they have given out the picture. So let's hear how the authorities are going to give us more information.
Yes.
But behind the scene, we know the police, either RCMP, SPS, or VPD, they're all working together to solve this issue. So we should voice this out. CMMC will be contacting each one of you, and we will be asking if there is any more information for the community.
Yes. Thank you so much जी. And मगर I forgot हमारी बड़ी प्यारी जिनसे हम बहुत सीखते हैं जी, ब्रॉडकास्टर सरदारवी कुलजीत कौर जी. If you want to say a few words, please, I would like to listen. And say, please, say a few words. Yeah? No, okay, because everybody has said, so I want to hear from you too.
Problems don't arise in a day. Definitely, solution is not also in a day. But decisions can be made within minutes. Here, I do have expectation and hope from Mr. Gondal you have the ability, capability, and way of expression to get your whole community together. And I do have faith in one aspect, that you can express your community to the authorities and you can be their voice. But all has to be together. That is the task. If you could do it, that will be your service for your community. I honestly feel so. I believe so. Rest of the things, authorities don't just listen, they act on it. But we have to help them, support them, encourage them, and give them the feedback. This is what is happening. This is where we are heading to. It is our choice to be the part of the solution. Problem is here. We face it.
We all know. Yep.
We got to learn the root causes. ਤਾਣਾ ਬਾਣਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਰੰਗ ਜਵਾਨਾਂ ਹੀ ਵੱਖਰੀਆਂ ਤਾਣਾ ਬਾਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਪੇਕੇ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਸਹੁਰੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਵਸਣਾ ਤੇ ਵਸਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਜਾਂਚ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਤਾਣੇ ਬਾਣੇ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ
Thank you so much, everybody, viewers. Thank you for giving us so much feedback. And today, sorry, you would like to say something?
Yeah, because as the last two,
I think we know you. We have
comments
confidence
from
on you.
Ashana and Kuljit. The outlook which we are seeing, the expression, the situations about the unity of the community, which I hear that is they are not together, they are together. But as we represent the religion, which is a religion of peace, that's the actual message behind it. The community's concerns are there, and the communities are talking, and we've been asked to stay hold on that because we are seeing the authorities are working on it. And if a need arises, I guarantee you, I assure you that all the organization, BCMA or all sister organization, if we call them, they can come together and we can put our voice together for the authorities to have this case, to have asked the justice in place and the safety and the security of every Canadian, especially the visible and the Muslim communities. If the need arises, I'll assure you, inshallah, we go for that as well.
Definitely, Ji. Thank you so much. Seems like we have difference of opinion sometimes, but we are together. Definitely we are together. Thank you so very much.